Welcome to Read and Learn English. Today we are going to talk about something very powerful, something that can change your life, your relationships, and your future. It is called emotional control. Many people think emotional control means hiding your feelings, pretending to be strong, or not caring about anything. But that's not true. Real emotional control means understanding your feelings, learning from them, and choosing how to respond, not just react. Let's start with a small story. There was once a person who worked very hard in an office. One day, a coworker made a mistake, and the person got very angry. They shouted, threw papers on the desk, and walked away. Everyone in the office became silent. The next day, the manager called this person and said, "Your work is good, but your attitude is hurting the team." The person felt ashamed. Because of one moment of anger, they lost trust and respect. Now imagine another person in the same situation. A coworker made the same mistake, but this person took a deep breath. They stayed calm, spoke gently, and helped fix the problem. Everyone respected them for their patience and kindness. Same problem, but two very different outcomes. One person lost peace, the other earned respect. This is the secret of emotional control. Life will always test you. People will say things that hurt. Situations will push your buttons. But when you can stay calm inside, you stay powerful outside. Emotional control is not about being cold or silent. It is about being strong and wise. It is about choosing peace instead of regret. In this video, we will explore the secret psychology of emotional control. You will learn why some people lose control so easily, while others stay calm even in storms. You will discover how to understand your emotions, how to manage them, and how to use them to become a better, happier person. By the end, you will know simple ways to control your emotions, not by force, but by awareness. So, stay with me. This lesson will not only help you speak better English, but also help you become a stronger, more peaceful version of yourself. Let's begin this journey together. Section 1. Understanding your emotions. Emotions are part of every human life. We all feel happy, sad, angry, jealous, or afraid at different times. But do we really understand what emotions are? In simple words, emotions are signals from your brain and your heart. They tell you what is happening inside you. When you are happy, your brain is saying, "This feels good. I want more of this." When you are angry, it's saying, "Something is wrong. I want to fix it." Emotions are not bad. They are messages. The problem starts when we don't understand these messages and we let our emotions control us instead of us controlling them. Think about this. Controlled emotions bring peace, but uncontrolled emotions bring chaos. When you are calm, you can think clearly and make good choices. But when you lose control, emotions become like a storm. They move fast, make noise, and hurt everything around you. The storm does not last forever, but it leaves damage behind. Let me tell you a small story. There was once a man who often got angry at small things. If someone spoke loudly, he shouted back. If traffic was slow, he shouted at the drivers. If his friend made a mistake, he stopped talking to them. After each outburst, he felt guilty. He wanted to change, but he didn't understand why he lost control so easily. One day, his best friend said to him, "You are not angry at the world. You are angry because you never listened to your feelings." Those words made him think deeply. He realized that his anger was not really about other people. It was about his stress, his fear, and his need to be right. He started to notice how his body felt before he exploded, his fast heartbeat, his tight chest, his warm face. Slowly, he learned to pause, take a breath, and understand what was happening inside. Over time, he became calmer, kinder, and more respected. Now let's look at another example. A young woman worked in a busy cafe. Every day, customers complained, and sometimes they were rude. One afternoon, a man shouted at her because his order was late. She felt her anger rise, but she remembered to pause and breathe. She said softly, "I understand you're upset. Let me check your order." Within minutes, the man calmed down and even said sorry. After he left, her coworker asked, "How did you stay so calm?" She smiled and said, "If I fight every storm, I'll never have peace." Her calm reaction changed the whole situation. This is the power of emotional understanding. When you notice your emotions early, you can choose your reaction. You can decide to speak softly instead of shouting. You can decide to walk away instead of arguing. You can decide to breathe instead of breaking down. But when you ignore your emotions, they control you. You become like a puppet moved by invisible strings, pulled by anger, sadness, or fear. Let's compare these two paths. On one side, we have the person who reacts without thinking. They shout, they regret, they lose peace. On the other side, we have the person who pauses and understands. They listen, they stay calm, they grow stronger. The difference is not luck or personality. The difference is awareness. Emotional awareness means paying attention to what you feel and why you feel it. For example, when you are angry, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Maybe you feel disrespected. Maybe you feel afraid of losing control. When you are sad, ask, what is my sadness showing me? Maybe you miss someone. Maybe you feel alone. When you know the reason, the emotion becomes smaller. You start to understand it instead of fighting it. Here's something important. Emotional control does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop letting feelings make your choices. You can still feel anger, but you don't need to shout. You can still feel fear, but you don't need to run away. You can still feel sadness, but you don't need to give up. You can feel everything, but still choose peace. One helpful practice is to pause before reacting. The moment you feel strong emotion, take one deep breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Just naming your emotion. I am angry. I am nervous. I am sad. Helps you understand it better. When you understand, you gain power. Remember this simple truth. Emotions are teachers. They show you what matters to you. They show you where you need to grow. If you listen carefully, they can guide you to peace and wisdom. But if you ignore them or fight them, they can control your life. Emotional control starts with emotional awareness. You cannot control what you don't understand. So, the first step to mastering your emotions is to notice them, name them, and listen to them. The more you understand yourself, the more power you have to stay calm, kind, and confident, even when life feels difficult. Now that you understand what emotions really are, let's learn how to manage them in real life. In the next section, we'll explore the power of pausing, one small action that can save your peace, your relationships, and your future. Section 2. The power of pause. Sometimes 1 second can change everything. A few seconds of silence can stop a fight, save a friendship, or even protect your peace. This is the secret of emotional control, the power of pause. When you feel strong emotions, when your heart is beating fast, when your hands are shaking, that is the moment to stop. Don't speak, don't move, just breathe. It may sound simple, but that small pause is one of the most powerful tools for a calm and successful life. Imagine this scene. You are in an argument with a close friend. They say something that hurts you. Your first feeling is anger. You want to shout. You want to defend yourself. You want to show you are right. But instead, you remember the lesson. Pause. You take one deep breath. You stay silent for 5 seconds. During that short time, your brain starts to calm down. Your heart slows. The storm begins to fade. You look at your friend and say, "Let's talk about this calmly." The whole situation changes. What could have turned into a fight becomes a moment of understanding. Now imagine the opposite. You react instantly. You raise your voice. You say things you don't mean, and you hurt someone you care about. A few minutes later, you regret it. You wish you could take your words back, but it's too late. This is the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting comes from emotion. Responding comes from awareness. Reacting is fast but often foolish. Responding is calm and wise. When you pause, you don't lose the fight. You win control. You show that you are stronger than your anger, stronger than your fear, and stronger than your pain. Many people believe that power means speaking louder or acting faster. But true power is quiet. True power is patience. Think about great leaders, teachers, or even wise parents. When something goes wrong, they don't shout or panic. They pause, think, and then act. That pause helps them choose the best response instead of the easiest reaction. You can practice this too, every day in simple ways. For example, when someone cuts in front of you in traffic, don't shout or use angry words. Pause. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, "I choose peace." When someone says something rude at work or school, don't reply immediately. Pause. Think about whether your response will make things better or worse. That short pause will protect your peace more than any quick answer ever could. The pause is like a shield. It stands between you and your emotions. It gives you time to think. It lets your brain move from reaction to reason. Science shows that when we are angry or afraid, our brain's emotional part becomes stronger and the thinking part becomes weaker. But after a few seconds of calm breathing, the thinking part wakes up again. You start to see clearly. You realize that not everything deserves your energy. You begin to respond with wisdom instead of regret. Let's return to our earlier story. The young woman who worked in the cafe learned this secret. When customers shouted, she used to feel angry and cry later. But one day, she decided to change. She practiced the pause. Every time she felt angry, she took a deep breath, counted slowly to 5, and said nothing until she felt calm. Slowly, she noticed that people respected her more. Her manager said, "You are always calm under pressure." She smiled because she knew her secret. She had learned the power of pause. Here's another simple story. A father came home tired from work. His child accidentally broke his phone. His first feeling was anger. His face turned red, and he was about to shout. But then, he stopped. He paused. He saw the fear in his child's eyes. He took a breath and said softly, "It's okay. Let's fix it together." The phone could be replaced, but the child's heart could not. That small pause protected love, trust, and peace. The pause is not weakness. It is wisdom. Anyone can shout in anger, but not everyone can stay silent and strong. When you pause, you choose self-control over chaos. You choose peace over regret. You choose understanding over ego. You can start practicing the pause today. The next time you feel upset, stop for 5 seconds. Breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Feel the air move through you. Notice your body relaxing. Then ask yourself, what is the best thing to do now? That short moment can change your day, and maybe your life. Remember this: reacting quickly feels powerful, but it often leads to pain. Pausing feels small, but it leads to peace. You don't have to win every argument. You don't have to prove every point. Sometimes silence is the strongest answer. The one who stays calm is the one who truly wins. So, the next time life tests your emotions, try this secret. Stop. Breathe. Pause. Then speak with peace, not anger. Because when you learn to pause, you take the first real step toward mastering your emotions and becoming the calm, confident person you were meant to be. Now that you understand the power of pause, let's move to the next important idea: how the thoughts inside your mind shape your emotions and control your peace. Section 3. The inner story you tell yourself. Every day, from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, there is a small voice inside your head. It talks all the time. It comments, judges, and explains the world around you. This voice tells you stories, not stories from a book, but stories about yourself, about other people, and about life. These stories are powerful because they shape your emotions. The way you think creates the way you feel. Imagine you see two people whispering and looking in your direction. One person tells themselves, "They must be talking about me. They don't like me." Right away, they feel sad, angry, and unwanted. Another person in the same situation tells themselves, "Maybe they are just sharing a joke. It's not about me." That person feels calm and free. The same event, but two very different emotions, all because of the story they told themselves. This is the secret psychology of emotions. Your thoughts create your feelings. If you tell yourself a negative story, you create negative emotions. If you tell yourself a kind, understanding story, you create peace and confidence. The truth is not what happens outside you. The truth is what you choose to believe inside your mind. Let's look at a simple example. A student studies hard for a test, but doesn't get the score they wanted. The first story they tell themselves is, "I failed. I'm not smart enough. I'll never improve." That story brings sadness, shame, and fear. But the second story could be, "I didn't do well this time, but I can learn from my mistakes. Next time will be better." This story brings motivation, strength, and hope. The test result didn't change. Only the story did. Negative thinking controls you. Positive thinking empowers you. When your thoughts are negative, your emotions become heavy and your actions become weak. But when your thoughts are positive and kind, your emotions become light and your actions become strong. You see, emotions are like mirrors. They reflect your thoughts. If your thoughts are full of worry and anger, your emotions will reflect fear and stress. But if your thoughts are full of calm and gratitude, your emotions will reflect peace and happiness. Many people think emotions just happen. They believe, I'm angry because someone shouted at me, or I'm sad because they ignored me. But that's only half true. The real cause is what you tell yourself after those moments. You might think, they shouted at me. That means they hate me. Or you might think, they shouted at me. Maybe they are having a bad day. The first story makes you suffer. The second story sets you free. Here's a small story to show this clearly. There was a man who always felt upset at work. When his boss gave him feedback, he thought, he doesn't like me. When a coworker got a promotion, he thought, I'll never be good enough. Every day his thoughts made him sad and angry. One day a friend asked him, why do you believe those thoughts? What if your boss just wants to help you grow? What if your coworker's success can inspire you? That question changed everything. The man started to write down his thoughts every night. When he saw a negative one, he changed it to a kinder, more logical one. Slowly, he began to feel calmer, happier, and more confident. His life didn't change overnight, but his thoughts did, and that changed everything else. You can do the same. Whenever you feel upset, stop for a moment and write down your thoughts. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Then look at that story carefully. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? If it's not, rewrite it. Replace it with a new story that brings peace instead of pain. For example, they ignored my message. Maybe they are busy right now. I made a mistake. I'm learning, and everyone makes mistakes. I'm not good enough. I'm growing every day, and progress takes time. This simple exercise may look small, but it's a powerful way to train your mind. Every time you change a negative thought, you change your emotion. Every time you change your emotion, you change your behavior. Over time, this creates a calmer, stronger, and happier version of yourself. Remember this, the mind is like a garden. Negative thoughts are like weeds. If you let them grow, they take over everything. But positive thoughts are like flowers. If you care for them, they bring beauty and peace. You can't stop weeds from appearing, but you can choose what stays in your garden. When you start telling yourself better stories, life feels lighter. You stop blaming yourself or others. You stop overthinking every word or look. You start to live with more freedom and confidence. So next time you feel an emotion, anger, sadness, or fear, pause and ask, what story am I telling myself? Change the story, and you will change the feeling. Because emotional control begins not just with understanding your emotions, but also with mastering your thoughts. Now that you understand how your inner story shapes your emotions, let's move forward. In the next section, we'll explore how to manage emotional triggers, the small things that make you react strongly, and how to stay in control when they appear. Section 4. Managing Emotional Triggers. Have you ever felt angry, sad, or nervous very quickly, even before you understood why? Maybe someone said something small, but it hurt deeply. Maybe you saw someone doing better than you, and suddenly you felt jealous or upset. These are called emotional triggers. Triggers are small things that cause big emotions. They can come from words, actions, memories, or even looks. Everyone has them, but not everyone understands them. An emotional trigger is like a button inside you. When someone presses it, you react instantly. You might raise your voice, walk away, or feel like crying. The problem is not the button itself. The problem is not knowing where that button is or why it exists. If you don't understand your triggers, they will control you. But if you do, you can stay calm even when the world tries to push you. Let's look at a story. There was a man who always got angry when people criticized him. Even small comments made him upset. If someone said, "You could do better next time," he took it as an attack. He argued, shouted, and later felt ashamed. One day, his friend said kindly, "Why do you get so angry when people give you feedback?" The man thought for a long time and realized something. When he was young, his parents often compared him to others and said he wasn't good enough. So now, every time someone criticized him, he felt the same pain again, as if he was that little boy being judged. That day, he learned his biggest trigger, the feeling of being not good enough. Once he understood this, he started to change. The next time someone gave him feedback, he took a deep breath and reminded himself, "They are not attacking me. They are just giving advice." The anger didn't disappear instantly, but it became smaller. Slowly, he became calmer, more confident, and more respected. You see, awareness changes everything. When you don't know your triggers, they control you. When you do, you control them. An unaware person is like a puppet pulled by emotions. When someone pulls the string, they react automatically. But an aware person is free. They can pause, think, and choose peace. Here's how you can start finding your own triggers. First, notice the moments when your emotions rise quickly. What situations make you angry or sad? Is it when someone ignores you? When you fail? When people compare you? Write these moments down. These are clues. Then ask yourself, why does this hurt me so much? The answer is often connected to the past, a memory, a fear, or a belief you still carry. For example, if rejection hurts deeply, maybe you fear being alone. If criticism makes you angry, maybe you fear not being good enough. If someone's success makes you jealous, maybe you fear being left behind. When you find the root, you can start to heal it. Here's a simple truth. You can't control the world, but you can control your reaction. People will always have opinions. Some will be kind, some will not. Life will never be perfect, but your peace depends on what you choose inside. The more you understand your triggers, the more control you have over your emotions. Let's imagine another story. A young woman worked in a company where her boss often spoke sharply. Every time he said something critical, she felt small and angry. She wanted to quit her job. But one day, she decided to learn about her emotions. She wrote in her journal, "Why do I get so angry when my boss criticizes me?" After thinking, she realized that she wanted to be perfect because she was afraid of making mistakes. She thought mistakes meant failure. So, she started to change her story. Everyone makes mistakes. Feedback helps me grow. The next time her boss criticized her, she smiled and said, "Thank you, I'll work on it." Her boss looked surprised, and slowly their relationship improved. Awareness turns pain into power. Once you know your triggers, you can prepare for them. You can remind yourself to breathe when they appear. You can choose your reaction before the emotion chooses it for you. You can even practice calm responses to prepare your mind. For example, if criticism is your trigger, you can practice saying in your mind, "I'm learning." If rejection hurts you, you can repeat, "I am enough." These small phrases can help protect your peace. Think of it like this. The world is full of buttons that people might press. You can't remove all of them, but you can make sure those buttons no longer control you. The moment you understand your triggers, they lose their power. Being aware of your triggers doesn't mean you will never feel angry or sad again. It means you will recognize those feelings faster and deal with them wisely. It means you will no longer be controlled by sudden emotions. Instead, you will be the calm captain of your ship, even when the waves are high. So next time someone says something that hurts, pause and ask yourself, why did this affect me so much? Don't run from the feeling, learn from it. Because when you understand your emotional triggers, you take back your power. And once you start managing your triggers, the next step becomes easier, building a calm and peaceful mind. In the next section, we'll learn the daily habits that help you keep your mind calm and your heart strong no matter what happens around you. Section 5. The Calm Mind Practice. Imagine starting your day not with noise or rushing, but with quiet. Before checking your phone or thinking about work, you simply sit still, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. You breathe in peace, and you breathe out stress. Just 5 minutes of calm. It may sound simple, but this small habit can change your whole day, and over time, your whole life. A calm mind is not born by luck. It is built little by little through practice. Just like a muscle becomes strong with exercise, your mind becomes strong with calmness. The more you practice it, the more control you gain over your emotions. When life throws problems at you, your calm mind helps you face them with strength instead of stress. Let's look at a small story. There was a young man who often felt angry and impatient. Every morning, he woke up late, rushed to get ready, and shouted at traffic on his way to work. By the time he arrived, his mood was already ruined. One day, his friend said, "Try something new. Spend 5 minutes every morning just breathing calmly." The man laughed at first. "How can breathing help?" he said, but he decided to try. The next morning, he woke up early, sat on his bed, closed his eyes, and took slow, deep breaths. He focused only on the air going in and out. At first, his mind kept wandering, but he continued. After 5 minutes, he felt lighter. That day, when traffic was bad, he didn't shout. When someone made a mistake at work, he didn't react angrily. He noticed that his patience had grown. After a few weeks, his co-workers began saying, "You look calmer these days." This is the quiet power of a calm mind. You see, a stressed mind reacts. A calm mind responds. A stressed mind speaks without thinking. A calm mind listens first. A stressed mind breaks easily. A calm mind stays strong. When you train your mind to stay calm, you protect your peace, your energy, and your happiness. So how can you practice calmness every day? Here are a few simple steps. 1. Practice deep breathing. When you feel tense, stop for a moment and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel your body relax. You can do this anywhere, at work, on a bus, or even during a stressful conversation. 2. Write your thoughts down. Journaling is a powerful way to release emotions. Every evening, take a few minutes to write how you felt during the day. If something made you angry or sad, write it. When you put your feelings into words, they lose their power to control you. It's like opening a window in a dark room. Light comes in, and the air becomes fresh again. 3. Take short walks. Nature has a natural way of calming the mind. A 10-minute walk outside, even around your home or office, can help you reset your thoughts. When you walk, notice the wind, the sound of your steps, or the light in the sky. These simple details bring your mind back to the present moment, where peace lives. 4. Spend quiet time alone. Many people are afraid of silence, but silence is where peace grows. Try to spend a few minutes each day in quiet reflection. No music, no phone, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. During that time, ask yourself simple questions like, what made me happy today? Or, what can I learn from today? This habit strengthens your self-awareness and helps you stay emotionally balanced. When you practice calmness daily, something beautiful happens. You begin to see life differently. Small problems no longer feel so big. Angry people no longer control your emotions. You become like a tree, strong, steady, and peaceful, even when the wind blows. Think about how many moments of stress we experience in one day. Traffic, deadlines, arguments, noise. If your mind is already full of tension, each problem feels 10 times bigger. But if your mind is calm, you can handle anything. You respond with patience instead of anger, and understanding instead of frustration. That's real power. Here's another small example. A woman used to get very angry when her children didn't listen. She would shout, feel guilty, and then promise to do better. But it always happened again. Then she began practicing calm mind exercises every morning. She breathed deeply for 5 minutes and wrote in her journal. After 2 weeks, something changed. The next time her children misbehaved, she paused, smiled, and said calmly, "Let's try again." Her children were surprised, and soon they started behaving better. Her calmness became their calmness. That's how powerful a calm mind can be. It doesn't just help you, it helps everyone around you. Remember this simple truth. A calm mind creates a strong heart. When you stay calm, you think clearly, you speak kindly, you act wisely, you become a source of peace for yourself and for others. So, starting tomorrow morning, give yourself 5 minutes of calm. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and feel your mind becoming lighter. If you do this every day, you will notice small miracles, more patience, more focus, and more happiness. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to stay peaceful inside, no matter what happens outside. And that is one of the greatest skills you can ever learn. Section 6. Emotional control in relationships. Have you ever said something in anger and then wished you could take it back? In relationships, with friends, family, or partners, emotions can be like fire. When used carefully, they bring warmth. But when out of control, they can burn everything around us. Emotional control is not about being cold or silent. It's about using your emotions wisely, so your words heal, not hurt. Let's imagine 2 people in a disagreement. One starts shouting, saying things they don't really mean. The other person gets defensive, raises their voice too, and soon both are angry. The room fills with tension, and after the argument, they both feel sad, misunderstood, and distant. Now, imagine the same situation, but this time, one person chooses to stay calm. Instead of shouting, they take a deep breath and say, "I understand you're upset. Let's talk calmly." The tone changes immediately. the other person feels heard, not attacked. What could have become a fight turns into a peaceful talk. That's the magic of emotional control. It turns conflict into connection. When you control your emotions, you give the other person space to express theirs. You listen, you understand, and you build trust. In relationships, trust is not built by always agreeing. It's built by how you handle disagreement with respect, kindness, and calmness. There was once a couple who loved each other deeply but argued often. The man was quick to speak when angry. The woman was sensitive and easily hurt. One day, during a small disagreement about money, the man shouted harsh words. The woman cried, and silence filled their home for days. He felt guilty, but pride kept him quiet. A week later, he saw her sitting alone, looking sad. He sat beside her and said softly, "I don't want to lose what we have because of my anger. I'm trying to learn to control my emotions." From that day, he made a promise to himself. Whenever he felt angry, he would stay silent for a few seconds, breathe deeply, and speak only when calm. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, something changed. Their arguments became shorter and kinder. They began to listen more and react less. Slowly, their trust returned. The woman began to feel safe again, and the man felt proud, not because he was right, but because he learned to stay calm. You see, emotional control is not weakness, it's strength. It takes power to stay calm when you want to shout. It takes wisdom to listen when you feel hurt. But that's how relationships grow. Not through perfect people, but through people who try to understand each other. Here's a simple thought that can change how you speak. Before you say something, ask yourself, will my words heal or hurt? Every word has power. Angry words can cut deep, but kind words can build bridges. When you control your emotions, your words become medicine instead of poison. Think about the difference between reacting and responding. When you react, your emotions control you. You speak quickly, sometimes without thinking. But when you respond, you take a moment to understand what the other person is really saying. You listen not just to their words, but to their feelings. Maybe they are not angry at you. Maybe they are just tired, scared, or hurt. When you see that, your heart softens and understanding begins. Let's take another example. A friend promises to help you, but cancels at the last moment. You feel disappointed and angry. The old you might send a message saying, "You never keep your word," but the new, emotionally aware you takes a deep breath and says, "I felt sad when you canceled. I was really looking forward to it. Maybe we can plan again." This simple change turns conflict into communication. Your friend doesn't feel attacked, and you express your feeling clearly. Relationships are like gardens. If you water them with patience and kindness, they grow. But if you pour anger on them every day, they dry up. Emotional control is like sunlight. It helps love grow. It doesn't mean you hide your emotions. It means you express them in a healthy way. If you want to improve your emotional control in relationships, try this simple practice. The next time you feel hurt or angry, don't speak right away. First, name your feeling quietly. "I feel hurt," or "I feel disappointed." Then ask yourself why. Understanding your feeling is the first step. After that, speak gently. Use calm words and focus on solving, not blaming. Remember, every relationship will have difficult moments. But if you stay calm, listen, and speak with care, You turn problems into lessons and pain into growth. In the end, emotional control in relationships is about love, love for others, and love for yourself. When you control your emotions, you protect your peace, and you protect the people you care about. You build respect, trust, and connection that lasts. And that's how strong, peaceful relationships are built, not through perfect communication, but through emotional understanding. Section 7. Turning pain into power. Pain is part of life. Everyone feels it. Loss, failure, rejection, disappointment. No one can avoid it. But here is an important truth. Pain is not just suffering. Pain is a teacher. It shows us what we need to learn, what we need to grow, and who we can become. The difference between people who stay stuck and people who succeed is not the absence of pain. It is what they do with it. Think about rejection. Maybe a friend doesn't answer your message. Maybe a job opportunity slips away. At first, it hurts. It feels unfair. You feel small or unworthy. An emotionally weak person sees only the hurt. They feel bitter, jealous, or angry. They blame others or themselves. They run from the pain, hiding or avoiding similar situations in the future. Life feels heavy, and the world seems unfair. Now, imagine an emotionally strong person facing the same rejection. They feel the pain, but they do not run. They pause, breathe, and ask, "What can I learn from this?" Rejection teaches patience. It teaches resilience. It shows areas where improvement is possible. Instead of bitterness, the experience becomes fuel, a reason to grow stronger, wiser, and more confident. Let me share a story. A young woman dreamed of joining a special art program. She applied with hope, spending weeks preparing her best work. When the results came, she was rejected. At first, she felt devastated. Her heart hurt. She wanted to give up. She could have said, "I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed," and let the pain stop her. Many people would have chosen that path, but she decided to pause and reflect. She asked herself, "What can I learn from this?" She looked carefully at her work and realized some areas needed improvement. She asked her teachers for advice and practiced daily. Slowly, she became better. Next year, she applied again and was accepted. More importantly, she discovered something she could not have learned without that first failure: patience, dedication, and self-belief. What once felt like defeat became her greatest teacher. Pain has the power to transform. Every failure teaches strength. Every criticism teaches wisdom. Every heartbreak teaches empathy. But only if you face it instead of avoiding it. Emotional control is not about avoiding pain. It is about choosing to learn from it instead of being trapped by it. Here's a small contrast to imagine. A man loses a business opportunity. He spends months complaining, blaming others, and feeling bitter. His life feels stuck, and he avoids taking new risks. Another man loses a similar opportunity. He feels the disappointment, but he writes down what went wrong, learns from his mistakes, and starts again with better preparation. Soon, his next attempt succeeds. The first man ran from pain. The second man used it as power. Turning pain into power is a skill you can practice every day. Start small. When something hurts, ask yourself, "What lesson is hidden in this?" Then think, "How can I use this to grow?" It could be as simple as learning patience when someone is rude, practicing resilience when a plan fails, or showing kindness when someone hurts you. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Here's another story. A young man wanted to join a sports team but did not make the cut. At first, he was angry and sad. He could have quit forever, feeling he was not good enough. Instead, he trained harder, focused on his weaknesses, and asked for advice. Months later, he made the team and performed better than he ever imagined. The pain of rejection became the fuel for his success. Your challenges, disappointments, and emotional pain are not punishments. They are opportunities in disguise. Each painful moment carries a lesson if you are willing to look for it. Reflection is the key. Take a quiet moment, think about what happened, and ask yourself, what can I learn? How can I become stronger? Over time, this habit transforms your life. Remember, emotionally weak people run from pain. They let hurt define them. Emotionally strong people face pain, reflect, and grow from it. They turn sadness into wisdom, failure into strength, and loss into courage. You can do this too. Your past struggles are not chains. They are tools to build a stronger, calmer, and more confident you. So the next time you face a difficult moment, pause, feel the pain fully, ask the lesson it carries, then decide to use it as power. Because when you learn from pain instead of being defeated by it, you begin to live with strength, purpose, and freedom. In the next section, we will learn how to take all these skills, awareness, pause, calmness, and reflection, and apply them to daily life to stay emotionally strong no matter what challenges come your way. Section 8. The Psychology of Forgiveness. Anger can feel heavy. When someone hurts us, we hold on to that feeling. It seems like keeping anger protects us, like a shield. But in truth, holding anger hurts only one person, ourselves. Forgiveness is the highest form of emotional control because it frees us from the chains of our own emotions. It does not mean we forget or that what happened was okay. It means we choose peace over bitterness, freedom over a prison of anger. Imagine two people who have been hurt by a friend. The first person keeps thinking about the wrong again and again. Every night, the memory comes back. Every conversation reminds them of the pain. Their heart feels heavy, and even small problems seem bigger. They live in an emotional prison built by their own anger. The second person, in the same situation, feels the pain too. But after a while, they decide to forgive. They take a deep breath and say silently, "I cannot change the past, but I can free myself." Suddenly the weight lifts. Their heart feels lighter. Forgiveness does not erase the memory, but it releases the grip of anger. Let me share a story. A young woman had a close friend who betrayed her trust. At first, she felt furious. She wanted to shout, avoid the friend, and hold a grudge forever. Days turned into weeks, and every thought of her friend brought anger and sadness. Her sleep was disturbed, her mind restless, and her heart heavy. One morning, she sat quietly and thought, "I am tired of carrying this anger. It hurts me more than anyone else." She wrote a short note to her friend, not to send, but just to release her feelings. "I am hurt, but I choose to forgive. I release this anger for my peace." That simple act gave her relief. Over time, her heart healed. She still remembered the pain, but it no longer controlled her life. Forgiveness had freed her. Holding anger is like carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. The bag does not punish the person who hurt you. It weighs down your steps, slows you down, and hurts your back. Forgiveness is like putting the bag down. You may not be able to fix what happened, but you regain your freedom. You can breathe, think clearly, and live fully. Many people confuse forgiveness with weakness. They think forgiving means you accept being wronged. But real forgiveness is strength. It takes courage to face your hurt and let it go. It takes wisdom to understand that holding anger will never heal the pain. When you forgive, you are not giving power to the other person. You are taking power back for yourself. Here's another example. A man's colleague spread rumors about him at work. At first, he wanted revenge. He spent weeks worrying, talking to others, and planning to respond angrily. His stress grew, and he became unhappy at work. Then he remembered a lesson he had learned. Emotional control brings peace. He wrote a note in his journal. I forgive my colleague. I release this anger for my peace. He did not confront the colleague immediately. He just let go inside himself. Slowly, he felt lighter. He could focus on his work. His happiness returned, and even his relationships at work improved. Forgiveness had protected him from his own anger. A simple practice to start forgiveness is this. Take a piece of paper and write the name of the person who hurt you. Write down everything you feel: anger, sadness, disappointment. Then write a short sentence. I forgive you. I release this anger for my peace. You do not need to send it. This is for you. Every time you feel old pain rising, read it silently. Over time, your heart will feel lighter and your mind calmer. Forgiveness also builds emotional strength. It allows you to respond instead of react. When someone hurts you again, you will be prepared. Your peace will be your shield, not your anger. Forgiveness does not mean you allow harm. It means you protect yourself by letting go of negative emotions that do not serve you. Contrast is clear. A person who holds anger lives in an emotional prison. Every memory is a chain. Every conversation is a lock. Every thought is a wall. A person who forgives walks free. They carry lessons, not chains. They remember, but they do not suffer. They feel peace, not bitterness. They have control over their emotions, not the other person. Remember this: forgiveness is not a gift for others. It is a gift to yourself. When you forgive, you regain your calm. You release the weight of anger and hurt. You open your heart to joy, love, and understanding again. Emotional control reaches its highest level when you can forgive, even when the pain is real, even when the memory is fresh. So, start small. Write your note, take a deep breath, and say silently, I forgive, I release, I choose peace. With each act of forgiveness, your mind becomes calmer, your heart becomes lighter, and your life becomes freer. And as we move forward, we will learn how to combine all these skills: awareness, pause, calmness, reflection, and forgiveness, to create lasting emotional strength in every part of life. Section 9. How to stay emotionally strong every day. Emotional strength is like a muscle. You cannot lift heavy weights the first time you go to the gym. You must practice day by day, little by little, to build real power. The same is true for emotional control. It is not a single act or a lucky moment. It is a daily practice, small habits that train your mind, calm your heart, and strengthen your reactions to life. Think about the people around you who seem calm, confident, and kind, even when life is hard. They didn't get that way by accident. They practiced emotional control every day. They pause before speaking. They notice their triggers. They reflect on their thoughts. They breathe deeply when they feel upset. They forgive, they learn from pain, and they repeat these habits consistently. That daily practice is what makes them strong. Contrast this with people who react quickly, without thinking. A small mistake makes them shout. A tiny criticism makes them feel worthless. They let every problem and every emotion control them. Life feels chaotic and heavy. Their relationships suffer. Their health suffers. And worst of all, they blame the world for their suffering, not realizing that their own habits are what keep them trapped. So, how do you stay emotionally strong every day? Here are simple habits you can start today and repeat consistently. 1. Morning reflection. Before starting your day, take a moment to sit quietly. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? Think about your intentions, not just your tasks. If you start your day with calm and focus, your emotions will follow. Even 2 or 3 minutes of quiet reflection can change your mood and your reactions for the entire day. 2. Gratitude journaling. Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be small, a good cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, or a sunny morning. Gratitude shifts your mind from focusing on what is missing or wrong to noticing what is good. People who practice gratitude regularly feel calmer, happier, and more in control of their emotions. 3. Mindful breathing. Take short pauses during your day to breathe deeply. Even 10 slow breaths can reset your mind. When you feel anger rising, stress building, or fear creeping in, stop and breathe. Notice your body, your heartbeat, and your thoughts. This simple habit trains your emotional muscles to respond calmly instead of reacting quickly. 4. Positive self-talk. The stories you tell yourself shape your emotions. When you feel doubt, fear, or anger, pause and ask, what am I telling myself right now? Then replace negative thoughts with positive, kind, and empowering ones. Say to yourself, I can handle this. I am learning. I am growing. The more you repeat these thoughts, the stronger your mind becomes. Here's a story to show how these daily practices work. A young man often felt stressed at work. Small mistakes would make him angry. Traffic made him shout. Criticism made him sad. Life felt heavy and chaotic. Then he started small habits. Every morning, he reflected for 5 minutes. He wrote 3 things he was grateful for. During work, when he felt stress rising, he paused and took 3 deep breaths. Every night, he repeated positive phrases to himself. After a few weeks, he noticed a change. He reacted less. He felt calmer. He handled challenges with more patience. Life was not easier, but he was stronger. He had trained his emotional muscles. Daily practice is the key. One day of calm does not make you strong. One act of forgiveness does not make you free. Emotional strength grows with repetition. Every time you pause instead of shouting, every time you reflect instead of reacting, every time you breathe instead of panicking, you strengthen your mind and heart. Contrast again. The person who reacts without practice feels weak and trapped. The person who repeats these habits daily feels strong and free. The world does not control them. They control themselves. Their emotions are their tools, not their masters. You can start today. Choose one habit and do it every day. Add another tomorrow. Slowly, these small actions become part of your life. Over time, your emotional muscles grow. You become calm in difficult conversations. You become patient when life slows down. You become confident when challenges appear. Remember this mentor truth. Every day you choose calm over chaos, you grow stronger. Every day you practice emotional control, you train your mind, just like your body. Life will still give you difficulties, but each day of practice makes you better prepared. Each day of calm builds power that lasts. So, start today. Reflect in the morning, write gratitude, breathe when stressed, and speak kindly to yourself. Small daily habits create lasting emotional strength. This is how you live with control, confidence, and peace every single day. In the next and final section, we will bring everything together and show how all these skills, awareness, pause, inner story, triggers, calmness, forgiveness, and daily practice, can transform your life into one of emotional mastery and freedom. Conclusion: the master of your emotions. Imagine your mind as a ship on the ocean. Some days, the waters are calm and the sun shines bright. Other days, storms rage, waves crash, and winds howl. Without guidance, the ship can be tossed, broken, or lost. But when the captain knows how to steer, even the fiercest storm can be navigated. That captain is you. Emotional control is your ability to guide your ship through life's storms, to stay steady no matter what waves appear. Throughout this journey, we have learned that emotions are signals, messages from your mind and body. They tell you what you feel and what you need. Awareness is the first step. When you notice your emotions, you gain power. You stop being a puppet controlled by anger, fear, or sadness, and you start observing, understanding, and deciding. Awareness is like seeing the storm coming on the horizon. It does not calm the sea, but it prepares you to steer wisely. Next, we learned the power of the pause. That short moment before reacting can change everything. A few seconds of calm breathing can prevent a harsh word, a misunderstanding, or regret. Pause, breathe, and respond, not react. This habit gives you control, like adjusting the ship's sail to catch the wind instead of letting it push you where you do not want to go. We also explored the inner story you tell yourself. Your thoughts shape your feelings. When you repeat negative stories, "I am not enough," or "they are against me," you fuel anger, fear, and sadness. But when you choose kinder, more logical stories, you calm your emotions and empower yourself. Positive thinking does not ignore reality. It teaches your mind to respond wisely, like a captain reading the currents instead of fearing them. Emotional triggers are like hidden rocks beneath the water. If you do not see them, your ship may hit them and shake violently. By recognizing triggers, those small things that provoke big emotions, you prepare yourself. You learn to navigate carefully, choosing calm over chaos. Awareness of triggers gives you freedom. You are no longer at the mercy of every wave or wind gust. You steer with confidence. We also discovered the calm mind practice. Daily habits, breathing, journaling, walking, or quiet reflection, strengthen your emotional muscles. A stressed mind reacts like a broken rudder. A calm mind responds like a skilled captain, steady and composed. Daily practice may feel small at first, but over time, it builds a powerful, peaceful mind that can handle any storm. Forgiveness is another essential skill. Holding anger is like anchoring your ship in a dangerous current. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or allowing harm. It means releasing the weight, lightening your heart, and reclaiming your freedom. When you forgive, you sail lighter, with more room for joy, love, and understanding. We also learn to turn pain into power. Life's storms, Failures, rejection, or disappointment can destroy or teach, depending on how you respond. Emotionally weak people run from pain and stay stuck. Emotionally strong people reflect, learn, and grow. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mind, like a storm that polishes the ship's hull and makes it stronger. Finally, we discussed daily habits to maintain emotional strength. Reflection, gratitude, mindful breathing, and positive self-talk are the ropes, sails, and rudder of your emotional ship. Practicing them every day ensures you are prepared, steady, and resilient. Every small act of calm builds strength that carries into every interaction, every challenge, and every joy. Remember, being the master of your emotions is a lifelong journey. You will not be perfect. You will still face storms, make mistakes, and feel pain. But each time you practice awareness, pause, calmness, forgiveness, or reflection, you grow stronger. Each small act of control teaches your mind and heart how to respond with wisdom and grace. You are training for a lifetime of mastery, not a single moment of perfection. Picture your life as that ship once more. The storms will come, but now you know how to navigate. You see the waves, understand the currents, and adjust your sails. You are no longer tossed helplessly by emotion. Instead, you steer with care, calm, and confidence. The ocean may rage, but your ship remains steady. You are the captain, and your world becomes peaceful because of your choices, habits, and courage. So, take a deep breath and remember, you are the captain of your emotions. The more you practice, the more peaceful your world becomes. Every day you apply these skills, you build strength, wisdom, and calm. You create better relationships, make wiser decisions, and find joy even in challenges. If you have learned something valuable today, share your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with friends who need emotional guidance. Keep practicing, keep learning, and continue growing your mind, heart, and English skills with Read and Learn English. Your journey to emotional mastery is just beginning, and every small step takes you closer to calm, strength, and freedom.